Welcome back to Real Leverage, where we talk money, mindset, and making bold moves.
I mean, the amount of ideas we've had that we've come up with on a Friday night, made a plan Saturday, Sunday just didn't execute, and by Monday it was gone because now we're back working construction. And
yeah, there was a lot of weekends where we came up with an idea like that, and then it basically fell through. There was also a lot of weekends I know together and both separate, even before I met you, where I came up with an idea. Let's say before I met you, I would come up with an idea, and I spent like weeks on it or like a month on it, and ended up just falling through. I just kind of got like, I put so much time into it. Sometimes I get really excited about an idea and I just grind on it. I'll work like 14 hours a day on it for like a month and then just done. I just burn out so quick.
I'm the same way. I mean, my most recent recollection was I was going to start a software as a service company from Go High Level, and I was going to sell my own service when we were working for that one construction company together. And I spent a month planning everything out, getting ready to sell it, and then just was like, I'm not passionate about this. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
But spent every weekday after work researching, learning how to market and sell the product for hours. And then the weekend as well was just dedicated to this with no actual result. It was just...
Isn't that interesting how we get so involved in something? You know, I think it's like a blessing and a curse. It's a curse because we spend so much time for seemingly nothing, but to contrast that, I think it's a blessing because it's developed you and I to have such a good understanding of different areas of business that you wouldn't expect us to or to anyone to. You know, we've spent so much time learning so many different things that like would support starting something like that, like starting up a software as a service company. Like you probably learned all about like how to market that, but like how to market in general. And I know for me in the past, like I spent like weeks, if not months of my life, like learning how to do like Facebook ads. And I've probably spent like $20 on Facebook ads in my life from actually executing, and it's like nothing, but I spent so much time learning it, or like how social media marketing works, or how to grow on social media, or like other things you learn, like actually applying the software as a service, like you learn how to apply that or how that would help businesses. It's so interesting. You spend so much time for seemingly no financial gain or like status gain from a company.
It is, and you know, when you look back on it, it is a blessing because even though didn't realize that at the time you're developing skills, like you said, sales, marketing. Even now, understand how a software as a service business works, or Go High Level's a CRM, right?
Yeah.
So now I actually understand the inner workings of a CRM, especially with our current jobs where we are working in CRMs all day, every day.
Every day, all day.
It's just a blessing to actually understand that. But I've always reflected on why did I lose interest in the business. That's something that still piques my interest to this day, and I don't have an answer. It just was like, I don't really want to grind on this now.
I haven't spent a lot of time reflecting on that, and I think it's because I don't like the answer, and I don't think you like it either.
Fair. Yeah.
It's because it didn't work out after like a week, and that's like everybody. There's probably like thousands, or like there's probably millions of people, I should say, that have like maybe not spent as much as us, but like how many millions of people out there come up with an idea, research it, like maybe for 1 or 2 nights. You know, we went a little bit past that, but like research it and then even try it sometimes, and it doesn't work out right away, and they quit. It's like going to the gym. Oh, I'm going to start working out. And then you go for 3 days, and like obviously you're not gonna become, you know, ripped after 3 days, but you stop going because you just like it's that delayed gratification.
I agree. I see that point, and I also feel if your heart's not in it, then you're not gonna want to push forward when you've come to that first barrier,
and not for the right reasons.
Not for the right reasons. Yeah, like for me at least, I was motivated because I wanted to make 10 grand a month and get out of construction. That was the only motivation, and that's not going to carry you far.
That's exactly right. As soon as you hit a little bit of rough waters, you're not going to want to keep doing. You're just going to pivot, which we did. You're just going to pivot onto something else entirely and try again, because it's easier just to like start again, try something out. I think that's exactly why.
It's I guess, I mean, because have we faced any barriers yet? I'm really trying to think in our new
Jobs or careers?
jobs,
or content?
careers. Like barriers, I would say is we've got some no's, but that I don't know if that's a barrier because
I think the difference is we're like genuinely have fun doing what we're doing.
yeah,
Like we're so new to like our actual jobs, like you know, to put that in a box. We're so new to that. But these new careers, like you had a different job in junior mining and like, you know, the networking we've done and everything like that. I think it's just fun. I think that's why we haven't wanted to quit. Like I would never want to quit, especially these jobs we're doing, like business development's what I'm doing and like learning about sales and stuff. My God, I've been wanting to do that for 6 years. I told you like 2 weeks ago, I said when I was going to graduate high school, I was going to become a helicopter salesman because that was like the biggest ticket item that I could think of at the time that I wanted to sell. Like that's funny, but now I'm doing sales.
high ticket sales
High
too.
ticket sales, and I love it. And you know, I'm not, you know, I'm just helping out. I'm, you know, finding my way into this role. But man, it's amazing. I think that's why we haven't burnt out from this. You know, but I guess to contrast that as well, like we have jobs in a way. So like maybe that's a bad argument because we're trying to make money from nothing the other way, and like the way where maybe you stuck through going through, you know, your software as a service business would be you making 10 grand a month, but now we're making money, so we're going to stick with it. I don't know.
And maybe it's because too, this just came up thinking about the software services. 10 grand a month is a very achievable goal in today's world with all these internet businesses.
Oh my God, right?
Which is crazy if you think about even back in 2000. But the goals we have in our current careers and just journey are so much larger than a 10 grand a month
Right.
income that's probably where the true motivation comes from. Is it's like we want to help other families. We want to be running multi-million-dollar businesses. We want to be able to travel when we want,
100%.
help out employees, just better people. I mean, we're already good people, but the goal is greater than just a fiscal gain and something that's still so high but achievable.
Oh, we know it's achievable. And that's a good point. It's weird. The grander motivation that keeps us going on these bigger picture things keeps us going no matter what, keeps the light at the end of the tunnel, but something which to us at the time was still a massive win, and to people listening to this and anyone else out there, 10 grand a month is an absolute dream for everybody. And I mean, you know, transparency to the audience, we're not even there yet.
No.
But something like that, just doing it for that reason wasn't enough. And I guess we just burnt out and moved on to the next thing so quickly.
Goals were too small. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know what it was. It's weird. It's weird to think about because, you know, that's just one example. Is, you know, doing Go High Level or whatever. Like, God, together we've come up with so many things. Even in this industry, we're going to start a media company, and I think we just thought too small. One, I think that idea was just too small thinking, and two, we just pivoted so quickly because we realized it wasn't worth starting a company when we could do the same thing on the back of our own names.
Yeah, exactly. And what we found too is, which we've touched on before, is it's harder to build a name with a company that has no experience than people with no experience. Because even CEOs will bet on us before they bet on a company that we own.
100%. Isn't it weird? It's just like, in theory, it's another layer of paperwork. It's just a name on our names. But like, that's just way down here, and like, we're way up here. Like, we're these super motivated people way up here, smart too, ready to go. And then down here we have these two people, two of them, with this little company, and it's like, no.
And they don't have any clients, they don't have a track record, but they know how to do this.
Isn't that interesting?
Specific skills that they're offering. Yeah, it's
maybe that's part of something that I haven't really put together yet, but that's different. Is we finally made that pivot to whatever we're gonna do, it's off the back of our own name, and like, yes, Real Leverage is a brand backed by us, but I think that's kind of different because it's like a media property. It's just something we use to put out there for content. But in the past, you know, starting your Go High Level software as a service business, like, I mean, I don't know what the name was of the company, if you had one or not, but it's like, it would be hard to start that business from scratch, for one, and for two, you didn't even have a name in that space. And that's a huge space. But us in this new industry, now where we're at, it's like everything is based off our name, and growing that makes it so much easier because people know who we are.
And I think we take more pride in it because at the end of the day, it is related back to us.
Yeah.
I mean, with the software as a service and the other couple businesses I started back in the day, I was scared to put my name on the business, and that's why I was kind of happy with it being 323 Solutions was the software as a service, because it wasn't attached to me. I mean, when I made my emails, it was from 323 Solutions team. It wasn't from Colton Welgan, because I was just so scared about attaching my name to that specific property.
Interesting. And even like something subtle, even putting your name in there probably would have made you do better. Which is funny.
Absolutely.
Nobody's going to trust a company that has zero following and like zero like presence, I guess, and not putting a name.
Yep.
But I had the same thing. I mean, to speak on Canuba Consulting, like, me and Jared did that business for a while. I've removed myself. I mean, some people listening to this that I know personally knew for a long time that I was working with Jared on that. I've officially removed myself from that. I just wanted to give it all to Jared. Obviously, no questions asked, no problems. Just think it's his thing. I want him to be able to do what he wants with it, and he deserves all the rights to it and all the money that comes with it. Blah blah blah. But for me, doing that, because it's been over 3 years, I think, or no, it's been 2 years, 2.5 years since we started that originally. I had a hard time wanting to attach my name with that as well, and that was like a legit business that like technically still ongoing. Like Jared has some clients still. And it wasn't because I wasn't proud of it, but it was because I didn't know enough about it, and I wasn't super passionate about what we did there.
Right.
And so I didn't want to attach my name to it because I didn't want to like misrepresent the company, or ultimately I didn't want to embarrass myself and like have a client phone me and I'll be like, man, I don't actually know anything.
And I was just about to say that too. It comes from embarrassment or failure, why you didn't want to attach your name. I mean, it's weird. It's just a slight mindset change that truly, now we're going the complete other direction. Everything we're doing, we're stamping our name on. We're like, this is me, motherfucker. This is me. Like,
it's completely the opposite. But I know 50 times more about what I'm doing now than I did before, with that business. I didn't know much about bookkeeping or accounting. Like I knew a little bit, and I knew some sales behind it, how to get clients and stuff. But now it's like doing business development. Like, I love business. That's been a passion for years. I've been studying sales. That's been like the number one part of business that I'm interested about. The technical skills that support me in this role are something that I've learned for my entire life. I've been working on computers, learning how to operate computers at a high level, like using that to leverage my job. And then, bigger picture beyond just, the job, but everything else we're doing, it's like, I love social media. I love learning about social media and like, video production and the marketing behind it all. And talking about investing, like I love investing, so maybe it's just
it's the passions coming to fruition. Because same thing, learn about marketing, sales, branding. I never loved being in front of the camera, and even my girlfriend was like, I would never have pictured this even 2 years ago, you posting and always being in front of the camera. But again, saw it as a necessity for the passions we wanted to pursue.
100%.
Had to get in front of it.
It's so funny making a switch like that. Like I didn't post on Instagram for I think 6 years, and I was like scared too for judgment. And I've said that before, but again, nobody cares what you do. Obviously, that's already came through. Nobody cares what we do. I promote the podcast all day long. Most people don't click the link. They don't really care. No one comments, and that's cool. It's going to grow, and people will start to care. But yeah,
it's just
being on camera is so different. But we love it now. I'm like always thinking how can I get a video out of whatever I'm doing? Like we were on our walk before this. I'm trying to record. I kind of failed, but I was trying to record a TikTok just to get content out. And by the way, we have new microphones. I know they're pretty minimalistic, but you guys should hopefully be able to tell the audio is way better.
The audio is way better. William, you commented about the audio back in episode 1.
Everybody commented on the audio.
It is now better.
9 episodes later.
We had to get some funds from the sponsorship from last episode, so...
I think a lot of being an entrepreneur is trial and error. Like by nature, we're both entrepreneurs. We're doing entrepreneurial things, and we're kind of entrepreneurs in this business we're working in, which is amazing. Absolutely love that. But a lot of it is trial and error. I think people that become entrepreneurs in their life are naturally really ambitious and naturally very curious. And when you combine that, I'm sure lots of those people try and fail 15 businesses each because they don't know exactly what's going to work or exactly what they want to do. And I think that's kind of relates to us because we've done a lot of trial and error. We've started or plan to start a little bit of both, so many different businesses through our lives, you know, and now we get to this point where things are kind of working out, but at the same time, we are still trial and erroring at every level. You know, it was 10 businesses before, and now it's like new jobs, new industry, content, but now we're like trial and erroring in content. What works in short form content? What do people like to listen to on the podcast? Even that's kind of sporadic. I don't have any good data. It's like our 3 best videos are entirely different.
Yeah, and I mean, touching on the trial and error part, Jeff Bezos, all the big guys, they failed at multiple businesses, and through those failures, you're obviously learning lessons, gaining new skills, and I think that's what we've been doing for me, at least the last 3 years, U6, is building that solid foundation that we're jack of all trades, master of none.
Exactly.
And now with content creation, we're adding another level of skills, new endeavors, but we're more intelligent than when we started our first kind of business.
Yeah.
Because we kind of know, okay, it's going to get tough at this point. Got to push through, navigate. I don't know. And
those skills we build through that time help us push through those tough parts because, you know, something that was tough 2 years ago that we ran into and made us quit doing business, you know, C. Now in business D, when you run into that problem, you push past it and then you quit because of a different issue.
Exactly. And it sounds like, oh, you're quitters. No, it's, again, comes back to where the passion lies too. And I think that's why we quit a lot of businesses, is it's something that wasn't worth sticking with and building. And we don't know what business we'll build in the future.
Yeah.
But we know what ones haven't worked for us. So we're kind of eliminating.
Yeah. You know, on that note, and unfortunately I don't know the guy's name, which would have been way better for this point. He did a TikTok and it had like millions of views. And it was, here are the 20 businesses that I've failed before having like $100 million buyout. And he literally went through years worth of starting and failing businesses, and then ultimately had like $100 million buyout on a, like, you know, software company or website, whatever it was. And it's so interesting because so many entrepreneurs go through that. I think like every entrepreneur goes through that, and it's because you build a really wide foundation of skills that help you across all aspects of business. And you need that because when you do start that big business that ends up in $100 million buyout, you know, on day one, you have to be that jack of all trades. You have to know a little bit about everything until you can scale it to a point where you can hire experts to take over all of those roles.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. Is from day one, you are all and everything the company is, and then eventually, hopefully, you get to a point of revenue where you can hire out and get smarter people, which is the goal. I want to hire smarter people to
make our content better, make the podcast better.
Make the content and podcast better, and we just get to stand here and talk for hours.
Yeah.
But it is, it's interesting. And we've talked about throwing darts at a dartboard, and I guess the best reference you could use is it was so wide, and now the dartboard is getting narrower, and our shots are getting more accurate.
Exactly. What a beautiful metaphor that is.
Well, I should just make a bunch of metaphors. There's the new business, metaphors, and put them on a shirt. By Colton Mulligan.
Yeah, exactly. You can have that on a shirt for next episode.
Exactly.
Good God.
But yeah, I mean, what would you say are your top 3 businesses you've tried, whether it was us together or separate, and failed at, and what do you think was the skills you've learned from those businesses?
Yeah, good question. I mean, Canoe Consulting, number one, for sure, because that's been going on for 2.5 years. I've had a lot of fun with Jared, and I've learned a lot about actually just starting and operating a business from doing it. Like, I've learned a lot of like accounting skills, which is different from something I've learned. I actually failed accounting in university.
Okay.
Put that in my book later. And so that's interesting just to learn those skills because I haven't spent a lot of time learning it otherwise beyond like reading financial statements for investment purposes, but also just like actually physically running a business. Like, how do you actually file taxes for a business? What do those forms look like? You know, how do you pay GST, or why do you need to pay GST? Like, learning stuff like that was really insightful. I mean, that's number one for sure. I mean, we've tried to start like 723 marketing company. That was interesting to kind of be like, oh, we're going to come in and like revolutionize this old industry. But then we kind of had like 2019 methods of doing it. And we just very quickly, I feel like, realized that we can do more than this for sure.
And it's moving faster. The market's appetite is different. What companies need for attention now.
For sure, like off the back of that, but doing it myself, that's how I was trying to get a job. I was trying to get like an IR / kind of ideally marketing, social media marketing job for these mining companies, and it didn't really work. They, a lot of them just were like, "No, we don't need it," and like they do, but also there's more to be done in that regard. It's just maybe not worth it in the space.
I agree. I think that was probably the biggest lesson to learn from 723 media is we were thinking too small, and what we were providing as a service was outdated almost, you could say. Like it's not outdated for the specific industry, but the methods like Facebook ads, it's hard to do for a junior mining company.
Yeah, exactly. Or like even just posting on the social media still, like it's a tough niche.
It's a tough niche. It's hard metrics to show that you're actually providing value to because these are junior mining companies. If you haven't heard, like it's a business to consumers, but these consumers are buying a stock in the company, meaning they have to believe in the company.
Yeah, it's a weird one for sure. And maybe it goes to show why there's not a lot of social media marketing done in the space. Like very little, and a lot of the action from the stock just comes from like institutional buying at the end of the day, or like the big companies, some degree of retail.
For sure.
But for the small ones, a lot of it's just high net worth focused on the space or institutional in the space.
I don't regret 723 Media too, to jump onto that as well, because
of course not.
I think it was interesting. Our value proposition was we'll try to simplify the geology so everyday people can understand it, and I think that is an issue junior mining companies
100% is.
Still have trouble with, even in their news releases. I mean, news releases can be technical, but even when they're trying to relay that information through social media. So we had something there, but it wasn't big enough, nor was it. We didn't have, I think, a true product on how. We knew what the problem was. We didn't know exactly how we would have solved it.
Yeah, we're like, well, we'll post on social media for you, but like, we don't know if it's going to hit anybody in theory. Or like, we'll make yours better than you already are, but still, there's no way to know that it's going to hit anybody because it's such a niche space.
For sure.
So, I mean, that was a challenge. I think those are my two main ones. I don't know if you want to, what would yours be, the go high level and 723?
Yeah, 723 maybe was 2. I don't know if it'd be the go high level or then like social media marketing, same kind of thing. I tried to do it for real estate agents.
Right. I could have saw you doing that in another life. I hope you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when I met you, I feel like you would have been doing that shit for sure.
Well, I tried calling a couple. I had a couple failed cold calls. I mean, I called one guy, one realtor, super confident, said, "Hey, it's from 323 Marketing Solutions."
There's a bit of a trend here, guys.
Can you see the trend in names? Really brilliant names. And he was like, "Who are you?" And then I said, "Oh, it's the 323 Marketing Solutions team." Again, wasn't using my name. And so that went on 3 or 4 times where he's like, "Who are you? Who are you? Who are you?"
Right.
And then he's like, "What do you want?" I'm like, "Notice you're not good at social media." He's like, "Okay." It was a terrible, long story short, terrible value proposition. I wasn't really adding any value. The cold call was awkward. He didn't know who the hell I was. He probably thought I was a scammer. Fair enough.
Probably, yeah.
If I received those phone calls now, I'd be like, politely piss off.
Isn't it funny? Eh? Good for you for doing that back then. You know what? I've only actually done a few cold calls. I used to cold call for Kanuma Consulting a couple times. Oh my God, that was probably the scariest thing I've ever done in my life. I'm dead serious. Yeah. I came home from work in construction, 3:30, sit at the kitchen table. I'd had like 7 pieces of paper worth of scripts out, and I just sounded like an absolute robot. Like just like bar for bar off the script, no tonality, no pacing. Oh my God, it was terrible. Every single person said, "No, not interested. No, I don't need your help." And I would just say, "Okay, sorry." Well, just horrible.
It's I think where I got the confidence of cold calling is just looking like a idiot. Yeah. Just sound like an idiot. I was cold calling lawyers in Nanaimo here and accountants, asking how I could get funds to buy a real estate property for $3.2 million at 18 years old. Okay, because I saw Grant Cardone say, "Fuck it, don't start with a duplex, start with a multifamily." And I'm like, I love real estate, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
So then by kind of being told by these lawyers, I'm not gonna mention their names, but I know who you are, I know your firm, I see your firm every time I drive downtown, but I'm an idiot.
That's so funny.
Then you kind of You kind of become desensitized to the whole cold
exactly.
calling.
These are these skills that you learn, right? This kind of comes full circle that you try all these random different things that we've both tried. Like most successful, if not every successful entrepreneur out there, if you only did one business and you nailed it in entrepreneurship, then you are so lucky. I think so many people don't. They just try and fail and learn just like us. And I think that's exactly why we've got a well-rounded understanding of business, right?
For sure. And it's even then, you try a bunch of things. You could start a business at 23, 24, even earlier. But I mean, I think good examples with construction. You work construction, say if everything goes right, after 4 years you get your red seal, then you're a foreman leading a crew, then maybe a site supervisor, then you're close to 30, you could maybe try to start your own construction company. Now you're starting at zero, and then it's just all the way back up. I know personally, when I see just honing in one skill, sure, you could potentially charge a lot of money 15 years down the line, but having a diverse range, you can start a business faster and you're going to learn on the go. You've already had to problem solve.
Exactly. You can speak with anybody as well and get lots of insight and have good conversations that are going to help you out and just manage situations better.
Exactly. You might not be an expert in everything, but at least when your accountant's talking to you about accounting, you understand, you have a grasp of what's happening. Or if your sales team needs to talk to you about why they're not converting on leads. You might not be the best salesman or been in the game for 30 years, but you understand the process and maybe can help pinpoint the errors. So
100%. I think that kind of covers it for today's episode. What do you think?
I think so too.
Great. Well, thanks a lot for listening, guys. Really appreciate it. Stay tuned for next episode.
Peace.